This is Joe Biden. On the campaign trail back in 2019, Biden repeatedly denied that he knew anything about his son Hunter's overseas business dealings and never spoke to anyone about it ever.
We've always kept everything separate. Even when my son was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware, we never discussed anything. So there'd be no potential conflict. And because I don't discuss things with my son or my family, because I don't want to have any knowledge of any, I don't want to be accused of, well, you talk with your son or you talk with your whomever.
However, we know that that's not true based on several witnesses / former Hunter Biden business partners, including Rob Walker and Tony Bobulinski. Both claim that they met with Joe Biden as part of discussions over a potential business deal with a Chinese energy firm, CEFC.
Hunter told his dad, according to Rob Walker, quote, "I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys." Now let me ask you something. That doesn't sound much like Joe Biden was involved in whatever Hunter Biden was doing with the CEFC if Hunter Biden is telling him that he's trying to do business with them, does it?
No, but it does show that he told his father he was trying to do business, and he was talking.
Well, that
to
is
his
true.
father
Hunter Biden
about the
does
business.
try to do business. That's correct.
But remember that Joe Biden said that he never spoke to anyone in his family about their foreign business deals.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business. Everybody looked at this, and everybody's looked at it and said there's nothing there. Ask the right question.
Right. So on Monday, July 31st, Hunter Biden's former BFF business partner, Devin Archer, testified before members of Congress that Hunter put then Vice President Joe Biden on the speakerphone more than 20 times during meetings and invited Joe Biden to dinners with his overseas business associates.
It's been reported, and you have said that there were occasions when Joe Biden would call in with clients present on a speakerphone.
Right.
How many times do you think that happened?
I mean, over a 10-year partnership, I would, the number I'm going with is 20. That's probably the amount that I kind of recall. Yeah, a lot. I don't know if it was an orchestrated call-in or not. It certainly was powerful, though, because if you're sitting with a foreign business person and you hear the vice president's voice, that's prize enough. I mean, that's pretty impactful stuff.
But according to Hunter Biden's former business partner, Rob Walker, these calls and appearances were all orchestrated. In an interview with FBI and IRS agents, Rob Walker said the following: "I think Hunter Biden said, I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys, and could you?" And I think Joe Biden was like, "If I'm around," and he'd show up. The FBI agent asked, "So you definitely got the feeling that that was orchestrated by Hunter Biden to have like an appearance by his dad at the meeting just to kind of bolster your chances at making a deal work out?" And Rob Walker answered, "Sure." The FBI agent continued, "Did you hear Hunter Biden say he was setting up a meeting with his dad with them while dad was still in office as vice president?" And Rob Walker answered, "Yes." But the way that Congressman Daniel Goldman puts it, these appearances were completely random. Like Vice President Joe Biden just happened to run into his son.
He said that he had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings. If he says hello to someone that he sees his son with, is he supposed to say, "Hi, son"? Oh, no, I'm not going to say hello to the other people at the table or the other people on the phone. It's kind of a preposterous premise to think that a father should not say hello to people that the son is at dinner with, and that is literally all the evidence is.
But what Congressman Goldman is leaving out completely is that, of course, Joe Biden is going to say hi to Hunter's business associates because Hunter arranged for Joe Biden to stop by specifically to meet with Hunter's business associates. American attorney and legal scholar Jonathan Turley writes, "What is truly preposterous is Goldman's suggestion that these figures would have discussed corrupt deliverables on a speakerphone in restaurants. That was not the point of the calls. The point would have been that Hunter and his team were selling access, and the calls with his vice president/father confirmed that he was deliverable."
Obviously, the brand of Biden, adds a lot of power when your dad's the vice president.
Which means that the point of getting Vice President Biden on speakerphone was to demonstrate that Hunter and his team could get Joe on the phone at a moment's notice. That is called influence peddling. So instead of being concerned that Joe Biden was involved in influence peddling, Democrats are describing these vice presidential phone calls and drop-by events as completely innocent.
Hunter may have put his father on the phone with any number of different people, and they never once spoke about any business dealings. As he described it, it was all casual conversation, niceties, the weather, what's going on.
Yeah, he was on some phone calls talking about the weather, exchanging pleasantries.
And he would, talk about the way he described it several times. They asked over and over and over. He described what the weather was, how what's going on your end.
However, Tucker Carlson and Devin Archer just decimated that narrative.
I've got a lot of kids. I'm very close to them, talk to them every day.
Yeah.
Never called them on speaker during a business meeting. That's weird. You've got a lot of kids. You're close to them. Do you call them on speaker during business meetings?
Do I call?
I mean, what is that? A grown man calling his dad on a speakerphone during a business meeting?
Right, and to be clear, sometimes it was the call was coming in and the speaker would go on. So it's just the president. You have to be, you understand DC, right? So the power to have that access in that conversation, and it's not in a scheduled conference call, and it's a part of your family. That's like the pinnacle of power in DC.
Devin Archer is just confirming what we already knew. No surprises here. But now let's hear Congressman Goldman's spin on it.
They were purely what he called casual conversation.
Doesn't it contradict the president's statement saying that he never talked to any of Hunter Biden business associates? Clearly he talked, whether it's about the weather or whatever, but he said specifically that he's never talked to them. Doesn't this contradict them?
I don't know what his comment is, and if we're gonna, well, I don't think that's what he said. He never said that he has never spoken to anyone.
I never talked with my son or my brother or anyone else.
He never said that he has never spoken to anyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And Democrats are so dedicated to Joe Biden, of all people, that they are in full gaslighting mode.
They have demonstrated no connection to the president.
And you can see by this photographic evidence of Joe Biden meeting with Hunter's business associates that there's no connection whatsoever between the president and his son's business associates. Nothing to see here, guys.
So this investigation is now very clearly a complete fishing expedition that has no basis in fact to continue with it. And every witness that they bring in continues to confirm that Joe Biden had nothing to do with it. Why are we still doing this? Why are we wasting taxpayer money on this fishing expedition?
So when it came to investigating bullshit claims of Trump-Russia collusion that were literally made up by Hillary Clinton's campaign, millions of dollars were spent over 2.5 years to get to the bottom of absolutely nothing. But when House Republicans are only 6 months into an investigation of bribery and influence peddling by the sitting president of the United States, it's a waste of taxpayer dollars. Got it. But of course, when it comes to Joe Biden, Democrats and the media, same thing, are just so forgiving.
Maybe he is guilty of turning a blind eye to some of his son's behavior, and we should put this in context. This is a time when Beau Biden, the president's other son, was ill and then dying and then passed away. So perhaps he was not as attentive to what he should have been here.
Oh, I understand now. Joe Biden was really sad and just didn't notice that his entire family was getting rich off the Biden name. That's the excuse they're going with. And now, let's watch Tucker Carlson and Devin Archer just completely wreck the Democrats' narrative that Biden didn't know nothing.
This is from the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, to you personally, and it's personalized here at the bottom. Dear Devin, I apologize for not getting a chance to talk to you at the luncheon yesterday. I was having trouble getting away from hosting President Who. I hope I get a chance to see you again soon with Hunter. I hope you enjoyed lunch. Thanks for coming. Sincerely, Joseph R. Biden Jr. P.S. Handwritten, Happy you guys are together. I would much rather talk to you and thank you. What was he thanking you for?
It was kind of the beginning of our partnership, and he was thanking me and thanking Hunter, I think, at the end of the day, for bringing this idea of this government regulatory strategic advisory business into the private equity world. And I think he was excited about the prospects for Hunter, and he was just thanking me. I think it was a nice gesture.
That's weird. Why would Joe Biden send a letter to Devon Archer thanking him for being in business with his son when we were told unequivocally by this slimy Democrat congressman that Joe Biden didn't know what was going on with anything?
Joe Biden had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings, derived no benefit from it, received no money, and did not know about anything that Hunter Biden was doing.
Let me read that again. Joe Biden did not know about anything that Hunter Biden was doing. Pure f***ing gaslighting. And it seems that the majority of Americans aren't falling for it. According to a poll back in June from the Trafalgar Group, 53.3% of likely general election voters believe that the Biden family received payments from foreign nationals to influence policy in Washington, D.C. And to make matters worse for Democrats, the most recent New York Times poll shows that Joe Biden's approval rating is in the toilet at a measly 39% and a disapproval rating of 54%. And when asked who they would vote for if the 2024 presidential election were held today and Joe Biden and Donald Trump were the candidates, 43% would vote for Joe Biden and 43% would vote for Donald Trump. And it's gotten so bad that Democrat influencers like Harry Sisson are pulling out all the stops. Backwards hat, aviators, and relaxation. Joe Biden is pretty cool. Imagine selling your soul for Joe Biden and the Democrats. So to recap, Joe Biden is the most unpopular president since Jimmy Carter. There's mounting evidence that Joe Biden was involved in his son's business dealings, and Joe Biden is statistically tied with Donald Trump in the 2024 election, which means there's only one thing to do. That's right, file even more charges and indict the bad orange man. Again. That'll distract the public for a while. At this point, indicting Trump is like an in-kind contribution from the Democrats, because every time they charge him with more bullshit, Trump rises significantly in the polls. But I'm sure the Biden administration knows what they're doing. Anyway, that's it for now. Follow me on whatever the hell this is at Don't Walk Run. Be sure that you're still subscribed to the channel, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. If there is next time.